Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. And you'll probably notice that the title has changed a bit since I first set up the stream for people that were locked in early. The title of the stream was actually the window, 1 month left of the window, and it's quiet. Good. That was the title of the stream because I was going to come on here and say in regards to, oh, the squad is good as it is. I would love 2 more additions. I'm sure Daniel Farker would, as he said. But at this moment in time, I am so comfortable with this. But we've had some breaking news, people. Some breaking news in that West Ham United are in talks with Leeds United in regards to Crescencio Summerville. And we'll get into that in just a bit. Completely thrown the stream all off, people, all off. So I'm having to do this on the fly. Shout out to everyone in the building. Thank you for all the support as well, people. Thank you to all existing members. As you can see, everything has just gone off the bloody cliff with that news. Thank you to all existing members. If you want to become a member, link is in the description or is next to the subscribe button. It's called join. All over the gaff, mate. All over the gaff. What is going on? I know, Alex. I'm all over the place. Like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, and of course, drop your comments to anything discussed below. It's going to probably take a bit of the shine off the first 11 I was going to do, but that I am going to do later in the video. But look, we're still in a good position, people. Deshaun, I know. Deshaun, look, I don't make the news. I just report on it. I just report on the news, Deshaun, and it, boy, it's all mad. It's all mad. There is nowhere else to start, people. But Fabrizio, obviously, we knew that West Ham were in for Crescencio Summerville in terms of him being on their list, and we thought it was going to be a bit pricey. But it seems, obviously, with Fabrizio putting that, but with further information as well, Dharmesh Chef from Sky Sports has put this out. West Ham United in advanced talks with Leeds United over signing winger Crescencio Summerville. West Ham hopeful they can strike a deal for a player emerging as a primary target in that position, which means he's their #1 target. Personal terms not expected to be a problem, so they haven't got to that bit yet. And this is where I was talking about the differences, people, in terms of players. You don't get to speak personal terms with a player like Summerville until the clubs come to an agreement. Whereas with Kamara, there was willingness for everyone to do a deal for him to go. So that player can speak to rent and agree personal terms weeks in advance. This one here is more difficult because the Leeds United want to know, how serious are you, West Ham, before we even get our player talking to you and getting his head turned. Well, it looks like West Ham have come up with whatever money it is that Leeds United are asking for or favorable payment terms. We'll get more information as it comes along. And it looks like Summerville is going to go. I mean, JJ, Kudos plays middle, but what I would say to that, JJ, is that when you're in the Premier League, you need options. And if you're thinking like a Summerville on the left, Bowen on the right, Kudos in through the middle in that attacking central midfield area, that's nice. And I said that before. I said that exact same thing before, people. Lewis saying Summerville, please don't go. Yep. Allison saying as long as we get a replacement, we will, Allison, we will. But oh, what a blow. What a blow. Sai in the house, shout out to you, Sai. Always supporting, man. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks, doesn't it? We knew this day was gonna come. And I said to you before, and I was going to say in this one, there's a month to go. There's still a hell of a long way to go in this transfer window. I know things seems to be quiet, but teams are doing what they need to do right now, and then they'll get deals done. And West Ham apparently also in for Fulkrug and Wan-Bissaka, so you can see what Lopetegui's trying to build there, and that's pretty good. I'll give him credit. That is pretty good. But boy, yeah, Stephen saying it was inevitable. Yeah, and listen, I think we all knew, we had hope. That's all we had. In terms of Summerville staying, we had hope he would stay. We'd hope that the price would be a bit too much. But when you're talking about Summerville, you talk about a player here who's got levels to go. And I said it all along, it was hope for me that he would stay, but he deserves a Premier League move. And you're just thinking that Lopetegui system, he's going to do nicely, man. I'll be looking out for him on FPL. Chris here saying, do the 49ers actually know what they're doing? Yes, they do, Chris. They've held out for the price what they deem is worth, and have obviously West Ham have met the conditions. And sometimes, as I've said to you people before, sometimes it can be, say 40 million could be the price, But then sometimes the buying club could play 35, but the payment terms are more favorable. There's just different ways of doing deals, people. And I was hoping that we'd price everybody out, but yeah, it looks like Somerville is going. And you know what? It's a fair point that someone made, and I've forgotten who it was, but it was a really good point. We've seen in the preseason Somerville hasn't really played that much, and maybe Leeds were looking at ways of playing without him, and it does look like that could be the case right now. Deshaun, you must mean 50 Cent, Deshaun, because we ain't getting 50 million for Somerville, man. That's all I'm saying. Um, Julie saying, I just hope we don't have to sell anyone else. We'll see, Julie. This is, and I'll say this, Julie, to everyone else. This is the price of failure of promotion. This is the price that we're paying. We're paying the price for not doing what we should have done last season. And these are things that happen. And look, we've already sold Archie Gray for 40. We know that. We sell Somerville, we're in a great position, but it doesn't just come down to that, people. I've tried to explain this many times, but some people just think that the club hold all the cards. They don't. When you're talking superior talents like Somerville, like Nonto, like Jorginho, hopefully those guys, the rest, the other two stay. But you're talking about ambition. You're talking about, oh, actually, no, I don't want to play Plymouth this season. I would actually like to go and play European football at some stage. I would like to play top level football because that's what my talents deserve. So yes, the club can say no, but then you're running the risk of having not an unhappy dressing room, but a player that's going, well, I had a really good offer from a top club, and I'm having to play, Sheffield Wednesday next week. You do have to factor in all those considerations. Dr. Cox saying, I hope Sarah and Jordan James comes in. Well, this is it as well now. Now we're talking Somerville leaving. It does open up a space for a Sarah kind of type signing. Whereas before it was just unrealistic, people. You cannot have Gabriel Sarah. And I'm going to bring up the first 11 that I've currently got now, with Somerville being out of the picture, just assuming. You couldn't have bought Sarr in and have him with the rest of the big hitters. It wouldn't have worked. First of all, it's too much money. And second of all, Sarah is, when he's leaving, he's going to want to play a majority of the games. And he would not have got that with Somerville, Jorginho, Nonto, Dan James, and everyone else here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And listen, we'll speak about it more when it gets finalized, but I don't see it being an issue. And I've said this before, when people will turn their nose up at West Ham, which is, I think that just says more about some people's mentalities in terms of how big they think Leeds United are. But West Ham United are a big football club. And someone even said about, when I said about him playing in front of 60,000 West Ham fans, they said they don't even own the stadium. Do people not remember Ellen Road? We did not own that for a very long time, up until Radrizzani bought it back, and then obviously the 49ers completed it. We were renting Ellen Road. So I don't know why that came into their thinking, but West Ham are a very good team. Recent European Cup winners. People can say what they want about it being the Conference League, but I would take the Conference League trophy. Don't know about you. Exactly, Deshaun. Yeah, it's not just that. Look what they've done in the Premier League recently. And even losing Declan Rice. Look at the players that they've got to replace. They've got a very good team. Somerville adding to that is just, on the money. And then if they get in Wan-Bissaka at right back, full Krug, who's just a brute up front. Yeah, they're doing stuff at West Ham. So fairs. Let's have a look here. Yeah, this again, Andrew. Yeah, just talk about this. It's not a PSR issue. These aren't PSR issues. This is about a price tag being on a player, and that player obviously being way above the league we're in. And if the deal is fair, Leeds United will say yes. It's as simple as that. And as always, people, if he didn't want to go West Ham, guess what? He can reject the contract and stay. But it's unlikely to happen, isn't it? Really unlikely. Yeah, I got to say that as well. This isn't a West Ham cast, but Jack, I'm thinking the same. That West Ham front line is looking tasty. It is. Bowen on one side, Somerville on the other. Kudus. Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. And they got Kilman in too. Exactly, Darren. You can see what Lopetegui is trying to build there. It was you, Jeremy. Yeah, it was you that said about West Ham's ground. It was Jeremy. You know, I like you, man. But it was a silly point to make, wasn't it? In all fairness, it doesn't matter who if they own the ground or rent. It doesn't matter. We rented Ellen Road, obviously. Yeah, we're nowhere near FFP worries people. But again, with this, if we are, let's just say we're getting 40 million people. Let's play with that figure. If we are getting 40 million, we are not going to reinvest 40 million into a new player. Just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if you can take 15 to 18, maybe up to 20 after add-ons, I think we can do that. But you know what? Proof will be in the pudding, and we shall see. And if this deal does go through, people, once again, there's no excuses because we got a month left of the window. We will have other targets, as Danny Farker has recently said, and we will go for a replacement for Summerville, and we do need to replace him. Yeah, we got him for cheap as well. We definitely did. Maybe Feyenoord have got a sell on clause in there, but we're going to make a bit of money. I hear it, Charles. Make them take Bamford with Summerville. Yeah, if you take Summerville, you got to take Bamford. I got you. Mike is asking here how much for Raksaki. This is another one, Mike, where we're not. I don't think we're in the conversation for this one. And I've kind of spoke about Raksaki before, but I'll bring it up again. He apparently wants to play for Russell Martin at Southampton. He apparently wants to go there if he's to leave Palace. And I say this again. If his first choice is Southampton Premier League football, Russell Martin, a coach he wants to play under, I don't think it does Leeds United any good going for this player. Not that I think he's going to be out of place or anything like that, but this guy is thinking, I want to play for Russell Martin in the Premier League. Wait a minute, you won't let me go to Southampton, but you're going to let me go to the Championship where I can be a Premier League player. I just don't think it's a good mix. But look, we shall see. We shall see. Maybe Daniel Farker, maybe Leeds, if they were to go in for a Ratsaki, because I think he will cook at this level as well, by the way. Maybe they can convince him and make it seem like it's not such a bad thing, and that will be in the Prem next season. I still say that. Still say that, by the way, people. Lewis saying Liverpool hijack, please. Hey, listen, we saw it with Archie Gray, didn't we? Brentford had the offer accepted. Looks like it was done and dusted, and Spurs came in. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool. They haven't signed a player yet. Is Summerville going to be their first big signing? I have no idea. But yeah, I would love it. Look, I've always said with Summerville, I'm happy. Yeah, I don't know about seeing him in Liverpool shirt. You know me in Liverpool. They're fans. You know what I mean? But if we are to get a better price from another club for outbidding West Ham, I'm all for it, people, because we've got to look out for the best interests of Leeds United. And that's what Baby Bremner there kind of echoes as well. Chris, that's a good one. Saki or Sarah, who would you prefer? That's a good one, Chris. You know what? I would probably go for Sarah. I would go for Sarah just purely on the basis that I feel like we'll already have a left winger in Nanto that's here as long as he's here. And we've already seen Aronson being used on that position as well. So that's going to be a fluid one. But if you get in a Sarah in that middle, yeah, that's a game changer. Especially we talk about Rothwell. Rothwell for me is probably going to be a rotation guy. But if you get in a Sarah to do your set pieces, open play, box to box, yeah, I think I would take that. Because for me, just because we're losing Summerville, we don't have to replace it with an out-and-out winger. But if we do, cool. But it's not going to be anywhere near Summerville. So that pressure is going to be on that winger. I think we could utilize other players in that position, make them Nanto's backup, but then get in like an out-and-out 10. But look, guys, we shall see. Obviously, we're just shooting the breeze here. This is literally breaking news as of what are we on, 25 minutes ago. By the way, I saw the Jordan James thing, and guys, you know me. I've said Jordan James. I did a video back in May in regards to Jordan James, but unfortunately the source was just the one source, and it's not something I'm going to report on. If it comes through from anybody else more reputable, I will definitely speak on it because it favors me because I want Jordan James here. I think he'd be absolutely perfect for Leeds United. But yeah, until it comes from a more reputable source, I'm going to not speak about that. That's the only reason why I didn't speak about it yesterday, people. Lee, don't joke with that one, Lee. Don't joke with that one. Darren, I will say this, Darren. I don't think Sheffield United, they've lost Jayden Bogle to us. They're not selling us Gusheimer. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're not going to do it twice. And also as well, the relegation release clause, I believe, only counts for teams in higher leagues. So we can't activate the relegation release clause because we're in the Championship, whereas a Premier League team can. So I don't think it's the same thing. It's a different kind of it's like if someone's got a Champions League release clause, if a team finishes in the Champions League positions, they can bid for you if for a certain price. If it's a team underneath, they don't get that luxury too. So yeah. Yeah, no worries, Darren. No worries. Guys, honestly, this whole thing has thrown everything off. I mean, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. But this is what you do as a streamer. You gotta adjust on the fly and everything else like that. Just as well, Summerville's not in the thumbnail picture. um Righteous one, 35 million for Summerville plus Cornet on loan for the season. I don't know, man. Cornet, I know what you're saying. He's a good player, but he's had a lot of injury problems, man. I don't think that would be a very good as Daniel Fark would say, solution. I don't think that would be a good solution. Yeah. Russ, and this is a point now. If Summerville goes, any player linked with Leeds, the price will rocket. We're going to see that now. We're going to see anybody that was probably going to be 15 million before is now going to be 18. It's going to be like that because they know we've got money. They know we got money anyway from the whole Red Bull deal and Archie Gray sale. But with Summerville going, we're going to get charged out the nose for this now. But look, we shall see, people. Let's have a look here. And absolutely no to Liam Miller. How underwhelming would that be? We've just lost Summerville and you're getting in Liam Miller. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And Darren, I'm with you on this one. And I guess we'll wait and see what other information comes out. If anything pops up, people let me know and I'll go on the page and have a look. But yeah, Darren, we'll be interested to see 49ers strategy on Summerville replacement. Yeah, both 49ers and Daniel Farker, because Daniel Farker has made it clear this preseason that he's very relaxed. Even if a big bid comes in for one of our key players, we're ready. We're going to see the proof will be in the pudding for me. Words are words, but let's see how we operate now. Let's have a look here. They absolutely have to place it with a number of players. Yeah. Yeah, Bobby here. They absolutely have to replace him with a number of players, not just one. And the main replacement has to be quality. Yeah, I've already said this. You cannot replace Summerville at this level. We cannot replace him, but I actually mean it. I don't mean it like Pep. We cannot replace him. You can't replace Summerville with one player. No, it has to be two. It has to be two. Because quite frankly, anyone that comes in that's a Summerville replacement is going to get measured against him. And if he's not anywhere near the level, he's going to have a tough time. And we know how tough it can be for players at Ellen Road. We know it. We've seen it before. So yeah, it's gotta be two, definitely. Neil, and I knew this would come up. Do you think the Summerville injury was a ruse? Yes, Neil, I do. I think that could he have been slightly injured? Of course. But we see this over and over again. We're not the only ones that's had it. It happens at every football club. Oh, a player that's been linked with a move away has just got a slight niggle, got a slight strain here, so we're going to keep him out. Seen it. The story's old. It's an old one, but now he'll go to West Ham, do a medical, pass that with flying colours, no issues, and he'll be a West Ham player. But yeah, so I do think it was just held out for precaution in terms of a possible move that was upcoming. And they've just held him out. But obviously, they don't want to say it there because it just gets the fan base up in a frenzy. We're leaving Summerville out for transfer reasons. All it will do then is just make everyone just go up in arms. Oh, they're selling all our best players. That's all it is. So yeah. Deshaun, we cannot replace him. We cannot. There's one player I'm waiting to leave to do that too, but I don't think this guy's going anywhere. That's all I'm saying, Deshaun. Oh, the Spence, that's a wild shout, Spence. I'm not gonna lie, Spence. In fact, I don't know, Spence, if you're one of the last few trolls I've got left. Because I'll be real with you, I've blocked quite a few of them. I kept them around as like my court jesters just to keep me amused at times. But the shtick got old. Spence, I don't know, but maybe Spence actually means this, but this is crazy to me. And if anyone else agrees, cool. I'd have Schmodix in over Summerville every day of the week. That's crazy. Even reading it out, that's crazy. That's insane. That's nasty work, Spence. I'm not gonna lie, J Jet. That's diabolical. Nah, that is crazy. Spence is assuring me he's not a troll. That's fine. If that's your opinion, cool, and you reserve the right to be wrong. All right. I mean, you control Mr. Dodo, but it would just be you missing out. You know what the funny thing is, though? But Mr. Dodo, I don't think you're a troll, man. You know what the thing is that with some of those trolls is that how sad they are is that they still watch, even though they can't comment no more, because I see them talking on other spaces about me. So even though I've removed them from the channel, they will still watch. I, I just feel sorry for those people. It must be lonely, whatever they're going through. I just hope that you get the company, you find that void in your life and fill it with love, because it's nasty. But I always say, shout out to all my supporters and shout out to all my haters, because I can't function without either one. So there we go. You'd be surprised, right? Just one. They do admit it. They do. But yeah. I cannot believe that Spence even said that. Why did I bring that up? At least it causes a little bit of conversation, guys. Oh God, I need to get moving because I'm going on to Connor's channel after this stream at 5. So, but yeah, it just seems like everything else is insignificant. But what I will say, Harry Gray, he did post this on his Insta, but then it got quickly deleted, maybe at the club's request. I don't know, but he says, "I'll see you in 2025." In terms of an injury he's picked up. So if that's the case for Harry Gray, you know, get well soon. If he's not going to be back until next year, it must be a really, really bad injury to say that he's not going to be back until 2025. I hope that he's okay. I did say to you guys that I think that he will be on the bench and he'll come on and make an appearance. Obviously, that probably won't be the case anymore. But if he is out injured, get well soon to Harry Gray, man, because you know he looked lively in the preseason too. So that does suck if he is going to be out that long. Maybe the club will officially announce it in the coming days. Um, okay, Harry Gray. I mean, all this now is pretty insignificant. I gotta say. Let me just get rid of a few windows. And if you haven't already, people, please hit that like button. Just a few notes on the fixture changes, people, which is going to affect people that were probably going to travel down on the day. Some of you may have to book hotels, especially for the away ones. Norwich is going to be an away fixture midweek on a Tuesday, 7:45. Mad. Sunderland Friday night kickoff. Enjoy your day, drinking, people, for the ones that drink. And Sheffield United at home. That's going to be a 8 p.m. kickoff at Ellen Road. Good luck with that, police. And the Bristol City away, 12:30. So you're going to probably have to stay over on the Friday unless you're going to travel early. Either way, it's an early one, 12:30 kickoff. And Millwall, which is always going to be moved, a Wednesday night, midweek, people, for Millwall away. And I just say stay safe to everyone that's traveling for that one for obvious reasons. Swansea, 3 p.m. So that's going to be on a Sunday. So that shouldn't be too bad. But it's more these ones, the midweek ones, Leeds United, Luton, that's cool. It's Derby County. Anything else with okay, Stoke City, Boxing Day away. Good luck with the travel on that, people. Mad movements. But yeah, the full fixture list is on the website. So for people that definitely go to away games, please, you know, have your plans made in advance for that. Lee is saying, KG, ignore the haters, mate. You talk a lot of sense. Oh, yeah. Listen, Lee, you can't please everybody. And what I will say is you need haters. It's a crazy thing in content creation, but you need people that watch you that don't like you. It's a mad thing, but I can't have everyone just agreeing with me. I need people that dislike me. That's how it gets shared around. That's how people talk crap about you. But if they're not talking about you, that's a bad thing. So I'm good with it, Lee. I know what I bring. I know the knowledge I can give. I know the answers I can get, you know, from people that are in the game. So yeah, I'm good with that. I made peace with that a very, very long time ago. Barry here with a last minute tackle here. Is there a chance Summerville stays? Slim, Barry. Very slim. I'll just say that. Very, very slim. What is next? Summerville, man, just took me out. Guys, I don't know if you're in the mood to do this now, but it's still on the title. So I thought I'd do it anyway and just show you how hard it will be for Daniel Farker, even with Summerville gone, because obviously we're going to get in some additions. How hard it is for Daniel Farker to pick a team and how difficult it will be this season in comparison to last year, because he's going to have to do something that he didn't do last year, and that's rotate. That's putting on subs at 60 minutes when it just needs a change. He's going to have to use the squad a lot better, because even doing this 11, and this is just my, you know, provisional 11 for the Portsmouth game, you're leaving out some big hitters in this division, people. Fab tweet, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, Spence, I definitely don't hate on you, KJ. I love your channel. Talks like sense. Yeah, no problem, Spence. No problem. Okay, someone's telling me to go back onto Fabrizio Romano. Okay, so before we get into that, people, let's go back on. All right. Oh, boy. Okay, to whoever said about is there a chance Crescencio Summerville stays? The answer is nah. Okay, let's just do this again, people. Fabrizio has updated us, and this is fresh off the stove. West Ham have reached an agreement with Crescencio Summerville on personal terms. So there you go, people. The player said yes to contract and project. Negotiations underway between Leeds and West Ham after first bid revealed last week. So there you go. They obviously allowed Summerville to talk, and maybe that was the whole he's got a little injury issue thing. They've obviously allowed him to talk because they feel that there's a bridge there between West Ham and Leeds, that the clubs will come to an agreement on a price. So there we go, people. There we go. H in the house with a sad face. I hear it, man. I hear it. I hear it. But yeah, I mean, Michael saying not agreed with the club yet, but if they allowed him to speak to West Ham in terms of a contract, it means they're close. And I'll just put it that way to you people. It means they are very close to agreeing a fee. They're obviously not too far apart on price and payment structure. Deshaun saying, "I'm not crying, you are." Yeah, listen, it's gutting because he is so good, but I'm speaking as a football fan. I'm glad he gets to go back to the Premier League, but I'm gutted for the Leeds United team, of course. Um, yeah, Righteous never rated him anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so people, that's the latest on Summerville. Awesome. Now let's go back to what we've currently got. And let me just take a sip of the Red Bull. Let's buy more Red Bulls, people. Let's get the kitties up, right? What a stream. Love it. Absolutely love it. In terms of the squad, the depth is crazy. Obviously, for me, as I've put on this here, and you can do your own, it's a free website on, buildlineup.com. But we have got some options. And by the way, this isn't just me saying this is the first 11 for the rest of the season. This is going to require rotation. This is going to require resting players. Don't do what we did last year, Tuesday, Saturday, same 11 both days. No, you're going to need to rotate this. And he's going to have no choice because there's some big characters. We already know Verba's come back. I've got Verba underneath Strout. So I've got Firpo, Strout, Roden, Bogle. Obviously, Melier is number one just by default. Darlow, the understudy. And then I've got Ampadu in defensive midfield with Gruev behind him. So you think about that just to begin with in terms of the bench. Verba and Gruev, and even Byram, I'd say, on your bench to bring on. That's crazy at this level. Byram not so much, but Gruev and Verba, that's good. DeBayo, I think he's probably earned a place unless we do go for another centre back. But then here comes the hard part, people. And this will generate the conversation, because a lot of people won't agree with me having Peru in terms of him starting. But Peru for me is I said it in the keep sell bench video, he's going to have a second year, even better second year, and he's even started preseason on fire, and him and Joseph are linked up very well. So as you can see, I've recently redone this because Nanto is out on the left. He was initially on the bench. Yeah. So we're going to need something over there, but we've seen Aronson move over there. So do with that what you will. What I'm saying is, if it's Peru there, he's playing just behind Joseph as the striker. If it's Gelhardt, you're probably moving Gelhardt a little bit more central. Things can interchange what I'm saying. But I've got Nanto starting on the left, Jorginho on the right, Peru just behind Mateo Joseph, Rothwell currently as my starting central midfielder. Boy, hey. And this is what I'm saying. Even if you don't agree with this, look at the options that you've got to bring in off the bench, whether that is Aronson, Gelhardt, Dan James. There is a lot of depth in this team already. That's why I'm cool with the window being very quiet, because I feel like we only need two more players. Well, now three with Summerville going. We need three now. I said two before, but it's three now with Summerville leaving. We are in good position. Darren saying, "Come on, KG Bamford, don't make the bench." I had to put him in there by default, Darren. I didn't want to write it, and I've got to say I'm disappointed that we haven't heard any rumors from the buyer's side that Bamford has been offered out or anything like that. I'm disappointed in that, because it means he's got a place in the team, and I just don't agree with that at all, as you guys know. David, we need an extra left back, 100%. And that's why I'm saying in terms of the defensive depth. The defensive depth is okay, but we need another fullback, which Daniel Farker has agreed with two people. So it's not just me saying it, it's Daniel Farker. And even if you put Byram on the left for Firpo, it means then that we need a right back. Whatever you do, there's a gap at fullback. So we do need to address that in this month. Baby Bremen is saying, great stream, gutted about Crete. It's all cash back though, but you're doing great on the flights. How we operate, Baby Bremen, and I appreciate your support, man. Yeah, Spence. It feels like it's Spence. Honestly, it really does. So what? Okay, Scott here. No way would I have Peru on the pitch instead of James or Aronson, and that's great, Scott. That's awesome, and that's exactly what I'm saying, and that's where I give not Daniel Farke a bit of leeway, but man, he's got a lot of thinking to do, and he's got a lot to do to keep the squad happy because you're even seeing it. Even if Scott, as Scott says, he doesn't want Peru on the pitch, fine, but you're gonna have to keep Peru happy somehow. So he's gonna have to start some games, and that will mean James starts, but that means someone else comes out. It's great problem to have, even in light of the Summerville news, people, which really does take this down a bit because Summerville was starting for me with Nanto behind him on the left. I mean, just think about that. That's insane. But yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, man. Lewis saying, has Aronson impressed you this preseason? In bits, but I think it's going to come even more as he plays more games. He still has a bit to do with his final third, which we all know, but there was some flashes there of him from when he first joined us in the Premier League, and if we can get that Aronson back, we'll be doing very well. But I've got confidence in Aronson at this level. I do. So if he proves me wrong, cool. But I do feel he's going to do well for us at this level. Um, Let's have a look. Jack saying, I also thought Aronson's best position was right-sided inverted winger, right-sided 10. I agree, Jack. But this is what I'm saying. The front line is so fluid. Obviously, besides Joseph, who you need as your focal point up front and is my undisputed number one, goes without saying. But you're talking Nonto, you're talking James, you're talking Jorginho, they can change. And we saw with Aronson, they even tried him on the left. He didn't look out of place there too. So there are options, and it's going to make the opposition teams think. What we can't have is another situation where Russell Martin or a Russell Martin type is looking at us and saying, well, I know what they're going to do. And whatever we did well against them, we'll do again. And the things we didn't do so well, we'll improve on and actually do it. No, we need to be a bit more unpredictable. And that's where I go with this. Um, I agree too. I agree. Uh, and Spencer Peru was a top scorer last 2 years before he came to Leeds. Surely has something to offer. He's got a lot to offer, Spence. It just isn't what the fans want to see in terms of a headless chicken running around and looking busy. That's not his game. His game is in that space. He will open it up if you give him the opportunity. But running around like a headless chicken, much like Rodrigo, people. Honestly, the similarities between them are insane. But Rodrigo didn't like that role, and he looked awkward doing it, and so did Joel Peru. But if you play Peru in his natural space, guys, this is where I go with football and why football these days just will never be as good as before. Because Peru shouldn't be asked to do all that. That should be these guys' jobs. It should be a Rothwell who's box to box. Should be an Ampadu that's covering. It should be your defense that is doing all of that donkey work. Shouldn't be your attackers that do it. I'm not saying be a goal hanger and just stay on side and then score goals, but they're players, they're specialist players like that for a reason. And that's where football's gone today. They need fullbacks to be wingers. They need strikers to be defensive midfielders. Nah, let Joel Peru play his game in that space. And we've seen already in preseason just a taster of it. He's done really well with it. That's all I'm saying. Guys, I know a lot of you keep on saying Sarah. I see Jack Clark coming into the conversation. We don't know at this point, people, and I guess we'll do a separate video on that. Let's let the Summerville news marinate a little first, before we talk about any incomings. But yeah, so people, if you've got a different 11, please put it in the comments. I'm very interested to see it. Would even if it's a different formation, doesn't matter. Whatever formation you prefer, put it in the comments, and just your preferred starting 11 for the Portsmouth game. And the reason as well, by the way, just quickly, I'm not doing a three at the back. I think it's very unnecessary for this Leeds United team to do three at the back because we're going to have the ball so much. So this is how I would cover the defense, is just let Ampadu sit there and do his thing. And there we go. Yeah, it isn't Russ. Yeah, it's never dull being a Leeds fan. When is it ever dull? When is it ever? I think people probably over the last few days, with no reports or anything coming out, probably say it's dull, but I was enjoying it. I'm not going to lie to you. As a content creator, it sucks. Let me just tell you that. But as a fan, I was loving it. That's why in the first title, I've literally got it on the screen here. It's changed on what you can see now, but I had 1 month left of the window and it's quiet. Dot dot dot. Good. That I was enjoying it. That's how I was liking it. And then obviously the Summerville blows this all out the water. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a there's one troll that's in here. You've got very, very little leash left. All right. You're probably the third chief troll behind the two that have gone, but you've got a very short rope. So use it wisely. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna let you cook for a little bit, just for a little bit. Uh but Mark, what I will say with this is don't get hung up on this. And Mark just saying here, Raksaki or Jack Clark must make the most sense to try and play Summerville. I don't agree with that. And plus, there's more players out there. This is what happens with this football fans in general, not just Leeds fans. When we get linked with players, all of a sudden now people can't think of anything else but what we've been linked with. All of a sudden now it's got to be Raksaki or the old link in Jack Clark. There will be other players that Leeds United are looking at that we probably haven't even considered, people. And so far, we've done well. We've done well with signings. Let's continue to trust them, I would say. But it has to be a good one. Has to be. Now, you know what I don't want now? If we do sign someone like Liam Miller, so we'll trust him, KG. No, because we've seen Liam Miller. I don't trust that. But you know what I'm trying to say here, people. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, guys, I think that is it. I think that is it. And yeah, what a stream. What a stream. But yeah, what a stream indeed. We've done it. And listen, I wasn't expecting to go that long, just as well I started when I did. In terms of the news that's broken, Summerville is looking like he's going to West Ham. Personal terms agreed. All that's left now is between the fee between Leeds United and West Ham to be agreed upon, and Summerville will be a West Ham United player. People, drop any of your thoughts on anything discussed in the comments below. Like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. People, peace out.